I just wish that a lot of these actors who are part of certain movies just would get paid to shut the hell up until the movie comes out. What up, YouTube? H-Star going to be talking about Rachel Zegler, who's been going viral for her antics as of late, as you know, somebody who's supposed to be promoting this new Snow White remake that we got coming out. Now, granted, we have never seen an official trailer for it. We've heard rumors of how it would look behind the scenes, but it is certain interesting things that she has said in regards to the original Snow White and this upcoming Snow White.
The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird.
Super weird.
So we didn't do that this time. Cast a guy in the movie,
Right.
Andrew Burnap, great dude. All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby.
Now, if the person who she's describing as a stalker isn't the prince and is more so the huntsman, I guess she would be technically right, because the huntsman was basically the queen's henchman. But if she's regarding the prince as a stalker, that is not even close to true. And it comes off like she's trying to be funny, but the thing is, no one's laughing at it.
Hours in a dress of an iconic Disney princess, I deserve to be paid for every hour that it is streamed online.
Now, that part specifically of her taking part in the actor strike that I think is still ongoing. I'm not sure if it ever came to a resolution yet, but I can understand that part at least, where she, you know, is taking part in the strike, saying that not only her, but her fellow actors should be paid accordingly.
Doesn't sound like something a little kid would like. Was terrified of it. Never revisited Snow White again. So I watched it for the first time in probably 16, 17 years when I was doing this film.
Okay, now I can understand like somebody finding the original Snow White movie creepy and downright dark, because it quite frankly was. Like, there was a lot of dark Disney films at that time that Disney took a chance on, and it was some dark and creepy moments in that movie that even, you know, shook me up as a kid. But that's neither here nor there.
1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that
She's
is
not going to be
yeah.
saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be, and the leader that her late father told her that she could be if she was fearless, fair, brave, and true.
Now, that part right there, I don't understand why they would change that part of the Snow White story, because that's basically what it was. It was a love story, true and true. And of course, she did end up becoming a leader, but her becoming a leader played as like a secondary fiddle. But I think trying to change that entirely, change the story of Snow White entirely, like, I get it, like you're trying to do a remake, a reimagining, but you don't have to change it to that point where it kind of comes off like you're obviously trying to push some type of agenda. And granted, I'm not going to try to sit here and call this woke by any stretch of the imagination. Like, I just think, if anything, this is just an actress who's using weird messaging to advertise an upcoming film.
That the cartoon was made 85 years ago. It's extremely dated when it comes to the ideas of women being in roles of power and what a woman is fit for in the world. And so when we came to reimagining the actual role of Snow White, has to learn a lot of lessons about coming into her own power before she can come into power over a kingdom.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's the proactive one, and she's the one who set the terms, is what makes it so relevant to where we are today.
Based off of Gal Gadot's explanation, it seems like they're trying to completely change the story of Snow White from falling in love first to being a leader second, to being this powerful leader first and worrying about love later, which could contribute to how certain things is in society. I don't think that's something that should be represented in this movie. And quite frankly, I don't think the target demographic for this movie, which is going to be mostly children, is going to give a shit about whatever the messaging is anyway. The only ones who's going to pick up on the messaging is us, the adults, and not the kids. Now, I'm not going to sit here and protect the kids don't go see the movie, because of course you would be weird if you tell your daughter or niece, like, hey, let's not go watch Snow White because of whatever reason. And after all that was said, she faced a ton of backlash to the point she ended up responding.
Video is gonna get taken out of context. And I know that at this point I can't really stop people from doing that, because that's what my whole existence on the internet is just me being taken out of context and stuff, which is fine. That's what I signed up for, isn't it? But I never want it to come off as me being ungrateful for the opportunities I have when I say that this has been the biggest adjustment of my life, like understanding the way my life operates now, being who I am, and the things that I've been so fortunate to make. It comes with so much ground that I never thought I would be able to cover, and that people think I'm doing poorly, and other people think I'm doing gracefully, and I don't think I'm doing it at all. So when I tell you that it's hard, I just mean to be inside my brain. That's hard. And I'm there 24/7. I can't get out of it. And I don't know if that will make sense, but that's where I'm at. I'm so grateful for the things that I'm able to do. And a lot of what I'm able to do is because of you guys. And I'm so unbelievably thankful for that. At the end of the day, I look at this trip and think, if somewhere like that can exist, and so can my tiny pink bedroom from New Jersey, I can also be having the greatest time and simultaneously wishing people would stop sending me death threats.
Y'all been sending her death threats over Snow White. Let me get this straight. Y'all been sending her death threats over Snow White. Like granted, has she said some wild stuff about, you know, the promotion of this movie? Yes. Death threats over Snow White? That's bizarre to me. Getting death threats over Snow White. It's not like she's talking about sports. That would be understandable, even that. But Snow White? Y'all care about Snow White that much?
Takeaway for this video. This is a life. This is real. It's filled with a lot of beautiful moments and beautiful people. I have a loving family, an incredible boyfriend that I love so much, beautiful friends and family, people that I miss. It's a privilege to miss people the way that I do, but it's hard. And it's lonely. It's very lonely. I just know that if that loneliness can exist, so can other things, and I will be okay.
Now, of course, backlash is expected, but to the point y'all start sending death threats, that's just weird to me. Like, it's just a kid's movie, dog. Relax. Now, granted, I have seen some takeaways saying that, oh, this movie's gonna bomb, it's gonna flop. We don't know yet. Okay, the jury's still out. We have yet to see a first trailer for it or even a teaser for it. I just wish that a lot of these actors who are part of certain movies just would get paid to shut the hell up until the movie comes out. Just tell these actors, look, until this movie comes out, bite your tongue about this. And then when it comes out, makes the money it's supposed to make and becomes a box office hit to the kids, then talk your shit. Until then, it's best to keep certain opinions to yourself. And I know people are going to look at this whole upcoming Snow White movie as go woke, go broke type of shit. You know, the whole nine. Like, they want Disney to go out of business. But the whole idea behind get woke, go broke, like, sure, the company Disney has been losing money. They have lost a lot of money. And in the indirect result of it, we've seen people at ESPN that ain't even really related to Disney. They're over here catching strays on behalf of Disney because of how many people they had to lay off. Instead of solving the problem in-house at Disney, they go over to ESPN and fire a bunch of people. People who had nothing to do with it. And I get the notion that people want Disney to go broke. And sure, maybe, I don't know, because Disney still racks in billions of dollars. It may be possible that Disney does go under one day and just collapse under its own weight and end up going broke. But the people who run and operate Disney, them people ain't never going broke. They may lose some money, but they're never going broke. Them people make so much money, got assets in different places where they store money at, probably got a Swiss bank account on an island somewhere for all we know. So much money to the point they're not going to lose any. The individuals at the top won't lose any, but the ones who will suffer the most and actually go broke are the people who are employed at Disney. The animators, the writers, the people who work on CGI special effects, storyboard designers. Them people will be affected the absolute most, and it's crazy. And the problem with all that is nobody cares if the little guy gets affected by this. All they care about is the big guy gets affected. And they're like, oh, well, if the little guy gets affected, it is what it is. He'll find work elsewhere. But let me know what y'all think about this in the comments below. Till next time, it's been H-Dog here, and I'm out. Peace.